Welcome to the round 19 episode of soon to be known as Lachie Does Footy, Lachie's edition. As this will be one of the final episodes of Lachie's weekly footy roundup. We're going to be moving on to round 19 of the 2016 season. We'll be doing the predictions of round 19 after we look at the round 18 results and the ladder after round 18. Anyways, Friday night footy. Collingwood and North Melbourne at Etihad Stadium. The Kangaroos are back on the winners list. They won by 40 points. What a mark from Magic Door. That's got to be up there for mark of the year. Anyways, let's look at the stats other than Door's mark. Sam Gibson had a great game with 33 disposals, 7 marks and a goal. Daniel Wells, he's been class in this game. 29 disposals, 7 marks and 6 clearances. Drew Petrie, one of the last Roos to play under Dennis Pagan. 14 disposals, 7 marks and 2 goals. Collingwood's best was Taylor Adams with 30 disposals, 6 tackles and 5 clearances. For the goal kickers, multiple goal kickers, Lindsay Thomas kicked 5 for the Roos. Jack Zeeble with 2, Drew Petrie 2, and Boomer Harvey with 2. Also 2 for Trent Dumont and Ben Brown. As for Collingwood, Jesse White with 2, Stillside Bottom 2, Darcy Moore's kicked 2, Levi Greenwood with 2, and Jared Blair with 2 goals. And no signs of Travis Cloak kicking goals. Sydney and Carlton at the SCG. The Blues nearly won it. The Swans by 6 points.
Oh. There you go.
What a game from Paddy Cripps. 32 disposals, 13 tackles, 11 clearances. He's starting to build up his play after a solid first year he had in 2015. Bryce Gibbs with 31 disposals, 11 tackles and a behind. Sam Doherty had 122 points in fantasy thanks to his 30 disposals and 11 marks. Kate Simpson had another great game with 34 disposals and 5 marks. While Ed Curnow picked up 28 disposals, 6 tackles and 2 goals. Now we go to the multiple goal kickers. Buddy Franklin kicked 4 goals. 2 goals, Luke Parker and Xavier Richards have kicked 2 for the Swans. Ed Curnow finished up with 2 at Carlton. While his little brother Charlie Curnow managed to get a goal for Carlton in this game. If Ed Curnow's little brother Charlie can build up his game of, say, the next size of years, he might be a Sydney player for 10 years in the future. I don't think he'll stay at Carlton after if they continue to not play this good. I reckon the Swans will come calling eventually. Gold Coast and Fremantle at Metricot Stadium. 24-point win for the Gold Coast Suns. Although Lachie Neale's been the shining highlight for Fremantle with 42 disposals, 10 clearances and a goal. He's been starting to pick up his game since Nat Fyfe got injured. Michael Walters with 24 disposals, 5 tackles and 4 goals. While Gold Coast's best was Alex Sexton. 26 disposals, 8 tackles, 8 clearances and a goal. Multiple goal kickers for the Suns. Tom Lynch with 4. Well, Sam Days kicked 4 goals in this match. Peter Wright with 3 and Jared Grant with 2. As for Fremantle, Michael Walters with 4. Shane Yarran kicked 2 on debut. Ed Langdon with 2. Now we move on to the next game. West Coast and Melbourne at Subiaco Oval. Melbourne led in the third quarter, looking like they could actually potentially win this. And then Andrew Gaff leveled the scores, and name I should not mention put West Coast in front. Let's look at the stats. Matt Prentice had a great game for the Eagles. 24 disposals, 15 tackles and a goal. As for Dom Tyson, 29 disposals, 10 tackles, 3 clearances and a point. Now for the multiple goal. As for the ruck battle, Max Gawn once again won the head-out He beat Scott Lysette and Jono Giles. Now we move on to the multiple goal kickers. Josh Kennedy with 3 for the Eagles. He's the only multiple goal kicker for them. Well, Jeff Garlick kicked 3 and Chris Dawes kicked 2 for Melbourne. And I think that's about it to report for this game. St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs at Etihad Stadium. What an upset. The Saints got it done by like 15 points. They held the Bulldogs scoreless in the last quarter. And this was the first time in 3 years the Bulldogs didn't even score in a quarter. And that was against Adelaide when they last did it. If they keep playing like this, I don't think the Western Bulldogs are going to win the premiership. I mean, their 62-year drought will probably continue. Jack Stephen with 39 disposals and 7 tackles and a goal. What a game from the bunt. 25 disposals, 3 tackles and 3 goals. Speaking of multiple goals, let's look at the multiple goal kickers. Nick Rewalt kicked 4 for the Saints. Tim Membry kicked 2 for the Saints. As for the Dogs, the only other multiple goal kicker was 2 goals to Tory Dixon. Now for another Saturday night game. This one's at the Cattery. Geelong and Adelaide. The Cats were... Thank you.
Here you go.
Anyways, we'll be back soon. Anyways, Geelong and Adelaide at the Cattery. Geelong by 30 points. Best on ground that game was Paddy Dangerfield with 36 disposals and 6 tackles and 6 clearances against his old side. While Matt Crouch had a great game himself, 31 disposals, 8 tackles and 3 clearances. If you could tag Dangerfield, well, Bartel, Selwood, and Ryder Menegala, and the youngster and first game of Menegala would run amok. For the multiple goal kickers, Daniel Madzo. Who's going to stop him with him back from injury? 4 goals. And another 4 to Tom Hawkins. As for Adelaide, Josh Jenkins with 3 and Tom Lynch with 2. Well, although Jenkins played pretty good in this game after he re-signed his new contract. Well, surely this will not cause any unrest in the Adelaide dressing room after this game. Next week, they got Essendon. Speaking of Essendon, they got Brisbane at Etihad Stadium. The Brisbane Lions have survived their sword fight with the wooden spoon. They got the job done by 37 points. Tom Rockcliffe had a great game against to relegate Essendon in the last place. 38 disposals, 12 marks, 9 tackles and a goal. While Brendan Goddard was Essendon's best with 31 disposals and 11 marks. Zach Merritt with 34 disposals and 8 tackles. Multiple goal kickers for this game between Essendon and Brisbane. Josh Walker kicked 4 for the Lions. Reece Matheson with 2, Josh Green with 2, Liam Dawson with 2, and Tom Cutler with 2. As for the Bombers, the only multiple goal kickers are Joe Danaher and Orazio Fantasia. Anyways, we now move on to the next match. Hawthorn and Richmond at the MCG. Richmond, it looked close in the first half, and then Hawthorn ran away with it after half-time to win by 70 points. Look at that. How good are these Hawks in this game? Jack Gunston with 22 touches and 3 goals. Sam Mitchell with 38 disposals and 9 tackles. And 9 clearances. 38 disposals and 9 clearances. Josh Gibson with 31 touches, 12 marks and a goal from half-back. Brad Hill with 31 disposals and 5 tackles and 2 points. Richmond's BOG was Dustin Martin with 39 disposals, 10 clearances and a point. James Sicily, Cyril Rioli and Jack Gunston with 3 each for the Hawks, and Luke Bruce with 2. For Hawthorn, while the only multiple goal kicker for Richmond was Jack Rewalt. For Hawthorn, well, they're looking good for 4 in a row. As for Richmond, get in the Lachlan Brown race, surely. He used to play for you. You need a new full forward. Sorry about that. Anyways, we've got power in the Giants at Adelaide Oval. GWS win by 19 points against Port. Well, that's it for Port Adelaide. That's pretty much it for Port Adelaide's finals chances. Shane. That's it. Well, that's it for finals tickets at Port Adelaide. Shane Mumford with 50 hitouts, 11 disposals, and 10 tackles. He was their best player. Tom Scully with 29 disposals, 8 tackles and a goal. Port's best was Travis Spoke with 34 disposals and 6 tackles. Dylan Shield with 28 disposals. Anyways, multiple goal kickers. Brad Ebert with 4 goals for the Power. Robbie Gray kicked 3. There were only multiple goal kickers. While for GWS, Devon Smith, Dylan Shield and Jeremy Cameron with 2 each. Now we look at the ladder after round 18. Tops, well, no change at the top. While second, well, it's a bit of a, well, the gap between second and 7th is actually tied. GWS, Sydney, Geelong and West Coast all move up the ladder, while Adelaide and the Bulldogs are moving down. The Crows are in 6th and the Dogs are 7th. Sitting in 8th right now is the Kangaroos. 9th we got St Kilda. They're moving up the ladder. Well, the Saints are putting the pressure on North now. 10th we got Port. Well, their finals chances are almost gone. Melbourne, well, their finals chances are pretty much gone. Collingwood are 12th. Richmond are 13th. 14th we got, well, there's no change between 11th and 18th. Now we move on to the predictions for round 19. Geelong and the Bulldogs at Siddon Stadium. That's the second meeting of the season between the two sides. I've got a feeling I reckon Geelong will get it done at the Cattery by 31 points. Hawthorn and Carlton at Aurora Stadium in Launceston. I reckon Hawthorn, well, they kind of look a bit buggered after that win against Richmond. I reckon they'll probably get it done. I reckon the umpires will help them get it done by 1 point. GWS and Richmond at Martica Oval in Canberra. Come on, GWS by 94 points. I think Richmond don't even care about making finals this year. They're ready for next year. They've pretty much clocked out. Collingwood and West Coast at the MCG. Well, this could realistically be Collingwood's last chance to make the finals. If they could beat, well, depending if results go their way, I reckon Collingwood will get it done by about 4 points. North Melbourne and St Kilda at Etihad Stadium. Game number 427 for Boomer Harvey. Well, goodbye, Michael Tuck's record. He's at that record for 26 years. That was untouched since not from 1990 through to 2016. And now Boomer Harvey's actually got the record. He'll be playing his 400 and... I reckon North Melbourne will get up for Boomer on his 427th outing. I reckon the Kangaroos by about 31 points. Brisbane and Port Adelaide at the Gabba. I reckon the Lions might get it done in an upset by 2 points. Melbourne and Gold Coast at the MCG. I reckon Melbourne by 2 points. Fremantle and Sydney at Subiaco Oval. I reckon the Swans will get the job done by about 70. Adelaide and Essendon at Adelaide Oval. I reckon the Crows will bounce back from that heavy loss against Geelong and win by 100 points. That's it for round 19, and we'll be bringing you the round 20 episode very soon.